Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I will be telling you about how you can get your work visa to work in the UK within 1 week. You heard that right. Now if you are interested in watching this, do not forget to watch this all the way to the end for all of the secrets. But before we move ahead, I would like to say that if you have not already followed me on Instagram, please do not forget to follow me, and my Instagram handle is physiotherapy in UK. Now diving right into today's content, let's just see what I was talking about. So, since most of the subscribers on this particular channel are those who have been related to a healthcare professional in some way or the other, I am going to be actually talking about the health and care worker visa. Now, as you are aware, the health and care worker visa is being issued to those who are actually in the occupation of healthcare or social care within the UK. Now, this is one of the main reasons that the UK government is actually trying to recruit healthcare professionals, including nurses, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists from overseas to get them within the UK because obviously all of these occupations are now on the shortage occupation list. Now, if you are unaware about whether your occupation falls in the shortage occupation list or no, please do not forget to check out the entire list found in the description box below because that link is going to take you to the Government of UK website where all of this official information is left for all of you all to read. But coming back to the health and care worker visa, let's just see for whom this visa is and what do you require in order to get this first visa. Now, when we talk about the health and care worker visa, what you essentially need is that this job or this particular occupation that you have chosen should be for an employer of the NHS that is under a particular NHS trust, or that the company that you are going to be working with is actually sort of hiring you to work under a particular NHS trust. So that is the sort of main requirement that you need in order to apply for a health and care worker visa. Now, the second most important thing when you think about applying for the health and care worker visa is that most of the NHS trusts within the UK are A-rated sponsors. So they are in a position to be able to offer you the sponsorship. And this you will see in many jobs that state that they will be able to sponsor a visa for you if you are selected in the interview. Now, if you are confused about how you go about applying for NHS jobs or where do you find these sponsored jobs, please do not forget to check out this entire playlist where I have listed out detailed information about how you can get a job within the NHS, and I've listed all of the steps and all of the processes that you need to be aware about. But coming back to this sort of NHS job that I am talking about, once you have been offered an NHS job, you need to ask your employer to sponsor the visa for you, either in the interview or after, just so that they are aware that they need to give you the visa sponsorship. Now, once you've done that, the most important thing for them to do is tick the part where they are asked if this particular candidate falls under the shortage occupation list, because that means that you are now on the shortage occupation list and this falls an advantage for you as compared to the other applications that go in for different visas across the UK. The second most important thing for you to do in the particular ask when you are asking your employer for a sponsorship is actually asking them to mention that you are eligible to apply under the health and care worker visa. And you would say, Nikita, where are they supposed to mention all of this information? So they are supposed to be mentioning all of this information in a document known as a certificate of sponsorship. Now, the certificate of sponsorship is actually a letter or it's actually a document that is created from the NHS, that is from the HRs within the particular NHS trust, which can actually allow you to apply for a health and care worker visa. So remember that you cannot apply for any work visa within the UK unless you have been issued with a certificate of sponsorship. Now, that being said, the two most important things that I would again want to remind you about on your certificate of sponsorship, if you are looking to apply under the health and care worker visa route, is your shortage occupation list. So that is that the NHS employer or the NHS HR needs to tick that you are applying under the shortage occupation list. And the second thing is that they need to mention that you are eligible to apply under the health and care worker visa. Now, the third thing that you need to be aware about is that if this is your first visa or if this is your first job in the UK, you need to prove that you are eligible to speak English, that you know to speak English. Now, in order to do that, you need to either give the IELTS or the TOEFL exam, or you need to give the UK NARIC or the ICTIS. Now, if you want more information about it, please do not forget to check out the link in my description box because I've listed down all of that information directly from the Government of UK website. So it's going to help you get more clarity on everything related to the English language requirements for the health and care worker visa. So now, coming down to what are the documents that you need in order to apply for this visa, the first and the most important document that I've already told you about is the certificate of sponsorship. Now, this is a document that you will be receiving from the HR of that specific NHS trust. So this document will only be released to you once you have sort of cleared all of the pre-employment checks, which can include several different checks, including your references. Once you've received that certificate of sponsorship, some of the other documents that you need are your English language proficiency check. But also, if you are coming from a country such as India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, you might also need to clear a tuberculosis test. If you are confused about what that is, it's basically a chest x-ray and a sort of written report from the doctors saying that you have been cleared for somebody who doesn't have tuberculosis right now. Now, some other documents that you would be needing are financial statements. So this can either be a bank statement or some other sort of financial statement stating that you have sufficient money to sustain yourself within the UK. And another sort of important document, especially if you are considering to get dependents along with you, is showing that you have a proof of relationship with those dependents that you are trying to get within the country, that is within UK, along with you. Now, if you want to again find out this entire list of documents, please do not forget to check out the description box below, because all of this information is found on the Government of UK link that I've left for you guys in the description box. Now, another important question that obviously comes to many people's minds is what is the cost of this particular visa? Now, the reason that I recommend this visa over any other work visa, that is any other tier 2 visa, is because the health and care worker visa is actually quite cheap as compared to the other visas. So if you are making an individual application, you would just have to pay around £250, and this works for actually a 3-year work visa. So once you pay £250, you would be granted work visa for 3 years in the UK, which is massive. But again, if you are coming with dependents, it's still going to be much cheaper, especially because you will not be paying the IHS, that is the Immigration Health Surcharge. The IHS can be anywhere between 1,500 to 1,800 pounds for a single person over the span of a 3-year time. So you would be saving all of this money by working under the health and care worker visa. So definitely go and apply for the health and care worker visa if you haven't done already, and if your occupation falls under the health and care worker visa eligibility. Now, another very common question that a lot of people ask me about this visa is where do you apply for this visa? So the application for this visa needs to be completed online, and you need to submit all of the documents. You can either do so by uploading all of these documents on the Government of UK website, or you have the option to take all of these documents with you when you actually go for the visa office, so that they can scan all of these documents and attach it to your file, that is, attach it to your visa file. Now, once you've done all of this, you would also have to give your biometrics, that is your thumb impressions and your finger impressions, along with a photograph that they will be using for your BRP card at a later stage. Now, that being said, you need to remember that it will take anywhere between 0 to 3 weeks for your decision about the visa to arrive. So once you have given your biometrics, and this is exactly what I want to tell you, you have given your information about your biometrics and your photo. From there, it's going to take you 3 weeks until you receive a decision letter about your visa. Now, this is one of the quickest ways, and this is one of the quickest visas that you could apply for. And recently, many people who are applying for this visa actually received this visa decision within 1 week. That is, it even just takes less than an entire working week for the UK government to sort of give a decision about these visas for you. So if you are eligible under the health and care worker visa, definitely consider applying for it. Now, another sort of common question that many people ask me about is, Nikita, what if I want to do extra work? What about, can I take up extra shifts at work? And is that allowed? And am I eligible to get sort of extra money through these extra shifts? And I would say absolutely. So in this health and care worker visa, you are allowed to work for 40 hours per week. But even above and beyond that, you are allowed to work 20 additional hours per week. Now, this is within your legal rights. So that means that this is not the sort of illegal work that you're doing. So you are allowed to work for a total period of 60 hours in the matter of 1 week. That is 40 hours of full-time work and 20 hours of additional work if you want to work and make some extra cash. And obviously, in the current times with the UK inflation, who doesn't want to make some extra cash? So remember that you are allowed to legally work for 20 hours extra over and above your regular sort of recommendations for on a weekly basis. And coming down to one of the final questions about the health and care worker visa that I think influences many people is, what about if you change jobs or if you sort of change employers? Now, say for example, you are working under A NHS trust and you want to move over to B NHS trust in the matter of a year or in a matter of 2 years. What happens then? Can you just transfer your visa over? And the answer to this question is no, because you will be changing employers. You would be requested to apply for a new work visa, and employer B would have to issue a new certificate of sponsorship. That is, employer B has to issue a new course for you. Only then can you apply for a new visa. So that means that none of the visa requirements from employer A will be carry on or carry forwarded to the next NHS trust. So keep that in mind before you think about changing jobs, that you and your dependents would have to apply for another visa, especially when you are looking for a change in the job, even if it is within or across different NHS trust. Now, if you've had any follow up question about the health and care worker visa, or if you want to know anything more about it, please do not forget to leave them down in the comment section below, just so that I could make a follow up video on this. But like I said, I absolutely love the health and care worker visa, and I would recommend that if you can apply under this visa, do not miss the chance. But that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Bye.